Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking into this video. If this is your first time here, my name is John. I am an artist. If you have been here before, welcome back. And if you have subscribed to my channel, thank you. I really do appreciate it. So without further ado, we're gonna jump right into this video. So from the title, you probably know what this video is going to be about. I want to show you all the works that I've done. Not only the art that I've made in the last year since I started as a full-time artist since the pandemic, but also the works that I've done in college and also in uni when I was younger. I paint and draw mostly, but when I was in university and in college, I would do sculptures, performance art. So it would be very cool for me to talk about all of these things at once so you can see the contrast and why I need to make certain decision into deciding what kind of art I want to make and what I want to show on social media. So yeah, I'll be also mentioning about problems that I encountered on social media when it comes to developing my art. This is going to be very exciting and interesting for me to do because I actually haven't looked back for quite a while and a lot have changed. Not just the way that I make work, it's also the mindset. I think mindset is very important for me to talk about. So I'll be telling you all the changes I've gone through this year because of different things that happened. I know that different artists will have different experiences and they will see things differently to how I have done things. But I just want to give you a blueprint of how I did things. So hopefully this will prepare you with your own journey. So without further ado, I'm going to bring all my works here and show you guys. I'm getting really nervous. This is the first sketchbook that I've used ever since going back to drawing. So this sketchbook is full of line drawings and that's what I did for the first 2 months. It did take me a while to get back into the zone. Obviously when I started doing that again, I just thought I was great. But now looking back, there's so much to improve on. I think it was until this drawing I started to realize what I had to learn. Drawing these was so essential for me to really understand how the face works. I think that is it for this sketchbook. It actually isn't that bad. I thought that I would be terrible looking at this. Okay, so this is a sketchbook that I was using simultaneously with the first one. These are more, I think, elaborate drawings, but not this page. More drawings. And then I think it was till this point I was feeling a way about sticking to the same drawing style again. I really wanted to push my ability to use lines to articulate different feelings, and I've learned a lot from this drawing. So that's it for this sketchbook. There are a lot more drawings than this. Some of them I have sold and some of them were commissions. Okay, so this is not a sketchbook, but this is how I store the loose paintings and loose sheets of drawings that I had done. It's not the best way of doing it, but it works. I migrated into doing wash paintings. It was my first time ever using it and I was really inspired by an artist that I was looking at. I actually haven't kept the first drawing, so this one, because I gave it to the artist that inspired me. Gouache is really fun to use because they dry really quickly and I have no patience using watercolor. This is something really interesting. This is like a mock-up of a piece that I did later on. It was for a commission. When a client approached me, he had a very specific idea. He wanted to have gold liquid being poured onto his face. So when I was working on this piece, I was creating texture with acrylic and I had the idea of painting gold pigments on top. So this started the whole journey of me using the same gold. This is a study of the client's face and this is another commission piece that I did. So this is a failed piece, but I just kept it. And then this is my friend Todd. Yeah, more gouache paintings like that. And I painted Billy and this was inspired by her music video. What's that song called? Future. Yeah, when the vines started growing onto her face. And then more drawings, and these are the preparation drawings that I did. I remember when I would do the final painting, I would do kind of these test pieces or test drawings to see what ideas would work. I was fascinated by these gold lines running down the face and also the liquid ideas. So I put the two together and made this final work. These are all on my Instagram, by the way, so if you want to have a look, go on my Instagram and also my store. But enough of my promotion. This is really important to me. So this woman is called Sandra. We met over Instagram. So she has this illness that has stopped her from being able to walk, and she would tell me that she was suffering from chronic pain. So yeah, this work I made to celebrate her and her life. Yeah, so this is the final painting of Sandra. So more gouache painting. I was really just trying to see what I can do and experimenting with the gold ideas. Yeah, so this is for Ariana Grande, of course. Yeah. And one of my, I wouldn't say favorite, but one of the pieces that really changed my perspective on where I should be going with my art. I use different color pencils to create this rainbow effect. So this is obviously George Floyd, and I was really inspired by the BLM movement, and I just wanted to show my support by creating this piece. That was such an early stage, like I only just started doing art and I was planning this whole project about making it into a print and then selling it so I can give all the money to the different charities that supports Black Lives Matter. But obviously I knew how hard that would be to get people interested and to buy it, so the project was put on hold. But I really wish that I could do something like that in the future. Just another one I did for a friend. Another drawing that was similar to the George Floyd one. Some more drawings. So these are line drawings that I've done, and I would use this as the base line drawings for the paintings. So what I'll do, I'll scan them and then I print it onto the actual painting picture. So if I do mess one of the paintings up, I can just reprint it and don't have to spend more time creating the line art. Moving on. I was going through a phase of wanting to really change up what I do, but I didn't want to train drastically because I was really scared that like I might lose followers on Instagram, which later I came to realize that even if you do stick to what you do or change up what you do, people will lose interest either way. It's something that I've learned now, but then it was still hard for me. But what I was doing with these kind of like loose sheets of paint textures was I was trying to create a different way that I can use oil paint. I was really bored with using gouache because all the art that I would look at, they have this very like well textured manner to them. And I wasn't sure with gouache I could get that effect. And this really shows the process of me experimenting, mixing kind of, I think I mixed flour and I mixed egg yolk inside the paint. Okay, moving on to some more textured painting experiments. I've tried to create this swirly effect with the oil paint. This is like a quick experimental piece, so I didn't really spend too much time on the details. Try to burn on the surface, I think, with a blowtorch. It started bubbling. I think it's quite interesting, so I might use that idea with my other pieces. I didn't really like this piece in particular because it resembles too much of the artist that I was trying to study. It almost gotten to a point where I feel like I was imitating that artist. I didn't want to do that. I really want to have my own style, so that is why I think that this piece didn't really translate. Some more texture paste. Yeah, this is the first time I tried to blowtorch the oil paint, and it created this like really weird coral kind of effect, and I started mixing different colors onto the paint, and I used spray paint, glitter to see what will happen. This is not an actual painting, this is just so I can try out the idea. So with this piece, as you can see, I was trying out the gold oil paint texture paste idea again. I was ready for some colors at that point in my life. It is a huge risk for me to take, and I wasn't sure whether or not that was the best decision, because I did spend quite a long time just worrying about whether or not this would completely change what I do and how different people see my work. I think a lot of people got so used to my old style, so when they see something like this, they weren't sure whether or not this is for them. And that is one of the things that I wish that I knew. You will lose followers and you will gain followers. What is something that you don't want to lose? Not losing yourself. You're not losing yourself to just getting numbers of likes and comments. So I would say that you're actually gaining when you decide to take a risk and change your work. So after this piece of work, I was really interested in classical sculptures in art. It's interesting how you never really see much of social minority people being presented or represented in classical art. So I was trying to do something with that idea. So with this piece, I was trying to incorporate the color elements like this into this painting for the color gouache, color pencils to kind of create the textures. I think it's fun, but yeah, at the same time, I'm not too sure this is something that I want to continue doing. So I was looking at digital images of classical sculptures and I wanted to translate it into oil paintings to see what will happen. And so this is the first piece that was ever born. And then here are some test pieces of different colors. I was looking at color, no, more paint. I'm gonna wipe this off. So ever since starting with using colors again, I started making these quick oil painting pieces. I don't know what it is, but I just love the colors, textures. They do look like they could just be an abstract painting if I just frame it properly. And now I'm moving on to the pieces that I've done recently in this past few months. The story behind these pieces is what really bonds my work together, and I really want to be able to share this so you can have a brief understanding of what I'm trying to do with my work. So I was hoping that I could take the style that I've created with the gouache painting and translate it into oil painting form. I think it was cool, but something wasn't right about it. So when I was finished with this piece, I was thinking about doing something similar again with another piece of work. I knew that it's going to be a guy and with his face in the middle looking up. I got the face down and the background, and I knew that there needs to be a gold element to the work, and I wasn't sure what I was trying to do. So I was really thinking about the gold element of my paintings as a liquid. The first thing that I was thinking about was rain. I was asking myself, why would the rain be gold though? And then I really wanted to think about all the elements and what I'm trying to say with these pieces, because I truly don't want my pieces to be solely aesthetic anymore. I really want to have some kind of value that I can truly relate to. And there are so many things that are happening in society that needs addressing, and I feel like this would be the chance for me to do so. So I started to think about the rain as something that we caused, that it happened because we did something that made it happen. So yeah, at that stage I was trying to make an image that resembles this whole situation with the rain turning into something that is erosive and harmful to humans and the environment itself. And I really wanted to create a story with my pieces. So soon after this piece, I was thinking about this world. I was trying to create a landscape of different organisms and plants looking very alienish. And then when the rain falls onto one of the people, you can see how the rain is changing the colors of their skin. I've been writing about a story on my Instagram, so feel free to go have a look. I'll leave a link on my description. Final thing that I want to show, I literally finished this yesterday. So this is a continuation with the previous idea, like this world that I was trying to create. Every piece of work that I make will be kind of a new evidence of this world. And I really want to make more pieces so I know what this world that I'm creating looks like. So this sums up all the work that I've done this year, and I'm so happy that I got to share this with you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and it was quite a bittersweet moment for me to look at all the works that I've done this year. As I was saying at the beginning of the video, I started doing art again last year when the lockdown happened in the UK. I was going through quite a dark time. I just lost my job and I didn't know what to do with my life. On the first day of lockdown, I asked myself what I would be doing if nothing matters in the world. If money doesn't matter, anything doesn't matter, I'm just locked in this house, what I would be doing. So I thought to myself, it would be art. I actually asked my friends on Instagram if they want to be drawn, and that's actually how it all started. I just started drawing, and then one thing led to another. I was kind of like just going into different things that I wanted to do and see where it would lead me, and now I've become a full-time artist. As I said in the video, I encountered a lot of problems, especially with social media and uploading my art on Instagram. Instagram was great in terms of showing other people my work, having an audience. Also, it kind of made me establish a routine or a schedule for me to post work. However, one of the things that was quite hard for me to adjust to was the speed of which I need to produce work. I had to constantly make new works and post it as soon as possible. I didn't actually have time to really think back on every decision that I've made or just to enjoy the work that I've made. So one of the bad sides of Instagram that I experienced this year was that I kind of lost myself to the number game. I would get really moody and emotional and upset when I don't see the numbers go up, and it's so unhealthy for me, and I kind of feel like my art was in jeopardy. I was constantly feeling like, oh, should I be doing this? Should I not be doing this? Like if I do this but other people still like my work, blah blah. So it kind of makes me feel that if a post doesn't get as much likes, that means the work that I've made isn't as good. So now looking back at all the work that I've made, I really think that is a great decision for me to just go with my gut feelings and just do things that I want to do and not giving too much value to the amount of likes that I'll get from the posts. So if you're experiencing something similar, of your likes are dropping because you have made a decision to change what you do, keep doing what you do, because that will allow you to find an audience that truly likes your work and truly wants to listen to what you have to say. So there will be a part 2 to this video video, I'm going to talk about all the works that I've made in university and also in college or high school if you're from America. The works that I used to make is so different. So expect installations, sculptures, digital art, performance art, and also paintings and drawings. I will be uploading the video soon after, so make sure that you turn on the notification bell and you will get an update as soon as the video is up. And if you're watching this video in the future, I'll leave the link right here. Lastly, I have said it so many times on my Instagram, I know, but thank you to all the positivity and love that you guys have been sending me on my last vlog video. It really matters to me to know that there are people who care about my work, so thank you. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about my art and also your experience with social media, especially with Instagram, on the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I've got bad habits I'm trying to fix. You haven't even seen the half of it, and I don't think you'd want to. I distance myself so it doesn't